We think that he's dead, but the guy shot a blank gun at him. How could he be dead? He's dying. He's severely hurt, maybe dead. And I said, you will find a projectile in him. You'll find a bullet in him. And they said, that can't be. You're crazy.
Brandon Lee, the son of martial arts legend Bruce Lee, tragically died on the set of The Crow in 1993.
It was here at the Carolco Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina, that actor Brandon Lee was filming The Crow. Ironically, the film is about a man who dies and comes back to life to avenge his death.
The official story says it was a freak accident, a mistake involving a prop gun. But recently, Steven Seagal, another famous action star and martial artist, shocked many by saying that he believes there was something more behind Brandon's death. Seagal, known for his bold statements, has claimed that Brandon's death might not have been an accident at all. Is this true? Was Brandon's death really more than an accident? Keep watching because you're in for a shocker. The tragic incident. For Steven Seagal, Brandon's death wasn't just another Hollywood tragedy. It struck a personal chord with him, one that he couldn't easily forget. The day Brandon Lee lost his life on the set of Crow was one that started like any other on a film set. But the events that later happened would change the course of history. Brandon, like any actor preparing for a big scene, was ready for a confrontation with a prop gun. But no one knew that a simple mistake would lead to one of Hollywood's most heart-wrenching tragedies.
It was shooting of The Crow, and Brandon died during it. And since then, I'm very conscious of the dangers of making a movie.
The scene was supposed to be an intense moment where Brandon's character, Eric Draven, is shot. A prop gun was supposed to shoot blanks, but a series of mistakes led to a real .44 caliber bullet becoming lodged inside the barrel. And that's when the imaginable happened. During the filming, when the prop gun was fired, it unexpectedly discharged the live round, hitting Brandon in the abdomen. The impact of the bullet caused severe internal injuries. Despite immediate efforts to save him, Brandon was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. His death sent shockwaves throughout Hollywood and around the world, but as the shock wore off, the questions began. Was this just a horrible accident? Or was something more sinister at play? Could something or someone have intentionally caused this tragedy? In the wake of Brandon Lee's death, a number of conspiracy theories quickly emerged, fueling the flames of intrigue. Some pointed to the possibility of a curse, a dark force that had followed the Lee family from Bruce's own mysterious passing to his son's untimely death. The tragic and violent nature of Brandon's death, coupled with the eerie coincidence of Bruce Lee's own mysterious death at a young age, seemed too much for some to dismiss as mere coincidence.
The 80th birthday of iconic martial arts film star Bruce Lee. He died unexpectedly at age 32, but his legacy and his work endure.
Among the many theories, one of the most widely discussed was that the Chinese Triads, an international organized crime group, had something to do with Brandon's death. People pointed to the Lee family's ties to Hong Kong and the fact that Bruce Lee's death had been surrounded by similar conspiracy theories. Some believed that both father and son were victims of a targeted attack, orchestrated by powerful and dangerous forces. Fast forward to recent years. The death of Brandon Lee, still fresh in the minds of many, has remained a topic of discussion, especially with the emergence of new perspectives and theories. One such voice that has sparked interest is that of Steven Seagal. The renowned action star, known for his martial arts skills, finally spoke out about Brandon's death, giving his take on what happened. Steven Seagal speaks out. Seagal and Bruce Lee had shared a mutual respect for one another, both being prominent figures in the world of martial arts. Though their paths didn't cross often, the connection was undeniable. Seagal had always admired Bruce Lee's ability to blend martial arts with cinema, something that had a lasting influence on his own career. When Brandon came into the picture, Seagal watched from afar, noticing the potential he had as an actor and martial artist. Brandon had inherited his father's skills, and like Bruce, he carried himself with a quiet confidence that seemed to come naturally. When news broke that Brandon had died on the set of The Crow, Seagal was devastated. But more than just a sense of loss, Seagal's mind immediately turned to the circumstances surrounding the incident. That's not all.
People have tried to say it was haunted. I don't know about that. But there definitely was some bad vibes on this set.
Seagal spoke about his deep personal feelings when he heard about the shooting. He mentioned how he couldn't sleep for days after learning about Brandon's death. He felt a strange sense of connection to the situation, almost as if he had been caught in a web of emotions that were difficult to untangle. The idea that something so senseless and avoidable could happen to someone with so much promise was a bitter pill for Seagal to swallow. It wasn't just another celebrity death. It was someone who, like him, was deeply entrenched in the world of martial arts and cinema. It was Seagal's insight into the mechanics of the incident that raised eyebrows. His comment that there was a bullet in Brandon's body when others initially dismissed it as an accident seemed to give credence to his suspicion. Seagal's unique understanding of firearms and martial arts gave him a different perspective, one that couldn't easily be ignored. According to Steven Seagal, Brandon's death was simply a tragic accident. He believed that Brandon's death was not part of any grand conspiracy, but rather the result of a series of unfortunate errors and negligence. Seagal's insight into the situation was direct. It was a simple accident caused by human error, not something orchestrated by outside forces. The Hollywood community, however, remained divided. While many echoed Seagal's thoughts, others still clung to the idea that there was more to the story. Was it truly just a mistake, or did something darker lurk behind the scenes? Seagal didn't mince words when discussing the tragedy. He shared that his initial reaction to hearing the news of Brandon's death was a gut feeling. Seagal felt something wasn't right from the very beginning. He told people that they would find a bullet in Brandon. As bizarre as it may sound, when the medical staff confirmed that a real bullet had indeed been lodged in Brandon's body, Seagal wasn't surprised. He said the situation reminded him of certain things he had experienced and witnessed in his own life, things that made him question how the accident could have occurred in the first place.
I can go through the whole story on what really happened, which most people don't know, but the long and the short is when Brandon passed like that, I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days.
This revelation wasn't just an ordinary comment by Seagal. His words shed light on a deeper layer of the tragedy. Was Seagal simply speculating, or did he know something the rest of us didn't? Was there more to the story than just a tragic mistake on set? Seagal has always had a reputation for speaking his mind, but in this case, his comments only added to the mystery that continues to surround Brandon Lee's death. Was it just an accident? As the years have gone by, the debate about Brandon Lee's death continues to bring up heated debates. Some, like Steven Seagal, believe it was simply a tragic accident. A series of mistakes in the handling of prop weapons led to a fatal outcome. Nothing more, nothing less. But for others, the questions remain. Was there more to Brandon's death than just a string of bad luck? The conspiracy theories that surrounded Bruce Lee's own death resurfaced with Brandon's passing. Some believed that both father and son were victims of a larger conspiracy, perhaps targeted by secret organizations. The idea of the Chinese mafia being involved, particularly in the death of Bruce Lee, had been a topic of discussion for years, and when Brandon died under similarly mysterious circumstances, some wondered if there was a connection. But as Seagal pointed out, these theories don't hold up when scrutinized closely. The reality, according to Seagal, is that Brandon's death was a sad accident that could have been prevented if proper safety protocols had been followed. He has never subscribed to the idea of a conspiracy, emphasizing that it was simply a case of human error. But the persistence of these theories points to something deeper, the desire to find meaning or purpose in something that feels too senseless to accept. Despite these ongoing discussions, the official explanation remains unchanged. It was an accident. The blame, when traced back, lies squarely on a series of oversights in the preparation of the prop gun. But that doesn't make the situation any easier to digest for those who were close to Brandon, or for fans who continue to mourn the loss of a life taken too soon.
Brandon becoming a tale of two curses, the second stemming from headlines surrounding events behind the scenes of The Crow.
Some people said, yeah, it's the curse of the Crow, and we should have stopped when stuff started happening.
Brandon's role in The Crow is perhaps the most iconic of his career. The film, a dark, gothic story of revenge, became a cult classic, and Brandon's performance as Eric Draven resonated with audiences worldwide. His portrayal of a man seeking justice for the death of his fiancée and himself was evident, and in a strange way, it mirrored the tragic circumstances of his own life. Had Brandon lived, there's no telling how far his career could have gone. Many believed that he had the talent to reach the same heights as his father. Bruce Lee, already an international legend, set a standard that Brandon was quickly approaching, but with his untimely death, the world was robbed of a rising star who could have reshaped the action film landscape. Brandon's death, while tragic, became a reminder of how fragile life is and how quickly things can change. Brandon's career was tragically short-lived. His impact on the film industry has never faded. His fans continue to celebrate his life and work, and The Crow remains one of the most beloved films of the 1990s. More than 2 decades after his death, Brandon's name is still spoken with reverence, a testament to the mark he left on Hollywood. Hollywood's responses to the safety issue. Following Brandon Lee's tragic death, Hollywood was forced to reassess how it handled dangerous stunts and scenes involving weapons. Prop guns and firearms on set became a focal point for change, as production companies realized that safety measures needed to be more stringent. Before Brandon's death, safety protocols for using prop guns weren't as strict as they are today. While steps were in place to ensure safety, they weren't foolproof. The tragic incident on The Crow showed the necessity of proper training for everyone involved in handling firearms, including actors, directors, and crew members. But that's not all. In response to this tragic accident, Hollywood implemented a range of reforms aimed at preventing such events in the future. Prop guns were subjected to more rigorous checks, and live ammunition was strictly prohibited on set. Actors handling weapons were required to undergo specialized training to ensure they understood the proper handling of such props. On top of that, studios began using computer-generated imagery, CGI, to depict gunshots, reducing the reliance on real prop guns altogether. Despite these advancements, the shadow of Brandon Lee's death looms over every set. Filmmakers and actors alike continue to pay homage to the lessons learned from that tragic day. Safety has become an ongoing priority, with studios emphasizing that no production is worth sacrificing the lives of its cast and crew. Brandon Lee's legacy has endured. His sudden death left Hollywood in shock, but it also immortalized him as a symbol of potential unfulfilled. Brandon was more than just Bruce Lee's son. He was a talented actor in his own right, carving out his own path in the world of film. He had all the makings of a future star, with a distinct presence on screen and a charisma that left a lasting impression on everyone who worked with him. The death of Brandon Lee, though an event that no one could have predicted, brought about a significant change in Hollywood. While no one can undo the damage caused that fateful day, the film industry learned valuable lessons. The safety changes that followed ensured that the tragic circumstances surrounding Brandon's death would never be repeated. But beyond the safety reforms, Brandon's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who loved him, both as a person and as a performer. The void left by his death can never be filled, but his memory continues to inspire countless individuals. Whether through his role in The Crow, his love for martial arts, or the way he carried himself with humility and grace, Brandon Lee remains an amazing part of film history. The idea of flying cars is no longer just science fiction. It is becoming a reality, thanks to an unforgettable announcement Koenigsegg just made. The company is releasing its first flying car, priced at an astonishing $4,999.
Flying car, this is not science fiction, it's reality with cutting-edge design and smooth aerodynamic lines.
What makes this car so revolutionary, and how will it influence our future? Join us as we get right into the details of how Koenigsegg's CEO revealed the world's first affordable flying car, set to change everything. Koenigsegg's CEO announcement. The revelation of Koenigsegg's new flying has got everyone raising their eyebrows. This isn't just a leap forward in technology. It's a game changer that pushes the limits of what we thought was possible. Before making its recent announcement that it can change all we knew about flying cars, Koenigsegg has always been an exceptional automobile company. Known for their industry-leading hypercars, they've spent decades redefining speed, power, and innovation. Founded by Christian von Koenigsegg in 1994, the company quickly made a name for itself by building some of the fastest and most advanced cars on the planet. From the legendary Agera RS to the Jesko, they've set world records and raised the bar for what performance cars can achieve. But this is just a tip of the iceberg. Their focus has been all about breaking boundaries, and now they're doing it again, this time in the skies. While other companies are racing to develop their own flying cars, Koenigsegg's creation stands out. Why? Because it doesn't just bridge the gap between fantasy and reality, but it obliterates it. What makes Koenigsegg's flying car a game changer? Let's talk about why this flying car is so revolutionary. First, its design is unlike anything we've seen before. It features 8 rotors, a layout that ensures unparalleled stability and maneuverability. With this setup, the car can hover effortlessly, take off vertically, and navigate even the trickiest urban environments.
The industry wants to call them AAMs or VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. There's a whole bunch of acronyms for these vehicles.
Think about the possibilities. No more traffic jams, no more frustrating delays. You could literally rise above it all. Then there's its hybrid power setup. While most flying car prototypes rely solely on battery power, Koenigsegg has taken a smarter approach. Their hybrid engine combines electric power with a small combustion engine, providing the perfect balance of efficiency and range. The electric components handle short trips and quiet operation, while the combustion engine steps in for long journeys. This means you won't be stuck waiting for hours to recharge your vehicle. Instead, you'll have the freedom to travel further with fewer interruptions. Koenigsegg has drawn on decades of expertise to build this flying car. They've integrated lightweight materials, aerodynamic principles, and cutting-edge propulsion systems to create something that's not only functional, but also eco-friendly. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just a flying car, it's a green flying car. The hybrid system significantly reduces emissions, making it a sustainable choice for the future, and the design itself is optimized for energy efficiency, ensuring that every ounce of fuel or charge gets you the maximum distance. This is Koenigsegg's way of proving that innovation and environmental responsibility can go hand in hand. Koenigsegg hasn't just focused on making a car that flies, they've designed it to deliver maximum comfort and luxury. The interior is sleek, spacious, and loaded with the latest tech. From interactive touchscreens to plush seating, everything is tailored for the best user experience.
It's so cool. It works so easy. The entire steering wheel is flat bottom, flat top with amazingly shaped.
And what kind of trips can you take with this car? Imagine flying to a nearby city for a weekend getaway, or skipping the traffic on your daily commute. Picture soaring above stunning landscapes, arriving at your destination relaxed and on time. The possibilities are endless, and they're all within reach. Koenigsegg's dreams for flying cars don't stop here. They envision a future where cars aren't just limited to Earth. Yes, they're thinking about a day when vehicles like this could venture into space. While that might sound far-fetched, remember this is Koenigsegg we're talking about, the company that thrives on achieving the impossible. For now, they're focused on making this flying car accessible to as many people as possible. The $4,999 price tag is already a groundbreaking achievement, but they're not stopping there. They're working hard to bring costs down further, aiming to make flying cars a practical option for everyday use. Sure, Koenigsegg isn't the only company in the flying car race, but they've set themselves apart in a big way. Their flying car isn't just a functional machine, but a masterpiece of comfort, functionality, and luxury. Other companies might offer cars that can fly, but Koenigsegg offers an experience that redefines transportation. So what's next for the world in the realm of flying cars? An era of flying cars. The dream of flying cars isn't exclusive to Koenigsegg. Around the world, companies and countries are racing to turn this futuristic vision into reality. Let's take a closer look at who's doing what in this incredible field. First, we have Honda, a company already known for their innovation in the automotive and aviation industries.
Honda brings into the business jet industry is this whole business style, not specific technologies.
They've been developing a flying car concept that integrates their expertise in electric motors and lightweight materials. Honda's focus is on creating a personal air mobility solution that's safe, efficient, and environmentally friendly. While their designs are still in development, they're aiming to release something that will change the way we think about short-distance travel. Over in China, the competition is just as fierce. Companies like EHang are making significant progress with their autonomous aerial vehicles. EHang's designs are already being tested for passenger transportation, logistics, and even emergency services. They're not just building flying cars. They're creating an entire ecosystem for urban air mobility, complete with vertiports and smart navigation systems. China's dedication to this technology has placed them as one of the global leaders in the flying car race. Meanwhile, the United States is also stepping up. The government has shown interest in promoting flying car development.
Aleph Aeronauticals has received an approval from the United States government as the first ever electric flying over.
With agencies like the FAA working on regulations to ensure safe integration into national airspace. Startups like Joby Aviation and Archer Aviation are already testing electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) vehicles, aiming to revolutionize urban transportation. The U.S. sees flying cars not just as a luxury, but as a necessity to tackle congestion and improve mobility. Amid all this competition, Koenigsegg is standing out as a true leader. Their flying car isn't just another prototype. It's a groundbreaking achievement that combines luxury, performance, and sustainability in a way no one else has managed. Why is Koenigsegg so uniquely positioned to dominate this space? For one, their experience is unmatched. Koenigsegg has been at the forefront of automotive innovation for decades, earning countless accolades for their cutting-edge hypercars. They've set speed records, developed revolutionary engine designs, and proven time and again that they can deliver on bold promises. Their expertise and attention to detail make them one of the most trustworthy companies to build a flying car. When you think about putting your life in a vehicle that soars above the ground, trust is everything. Koenigsegg has built that trust through years of relentless innovation and a commitment to safety and performance. As the world moves toward an era where cars don't just drive but also fly, it's clear that we're witnessing a historic shift in transportation. But, as exciting as this progress is, there are also plenty of speculations and concerns surrounding flying cars that could slow their adoption. So what are they? Speculations against flying cars. Flying cars are being hailed as the ultimate game-changer in transportation. They promise to revolutionize how we move, combining the convenience of driving with the freedom of flying. But while this vision feels straight out of a sci-fi movie, there are plenty of doubts and questions casting shadows on its bright promise. Let's talk about some of these concerns and why they matter. One of the biggest concerns is safety.
The fatalities is to address the overall safety capability. Instead of mitigate accidents, really try to eliminate accidents.
Sure, flying car manufacturers promise cutting-edge technology and advanced safety features, but there's a lingering fear that's hard to shake. What happens if a flying car breaks down mid-air? On the ground, a car stopping suddenly can be inconvenient, but it's rarely catastrophic. In the sky, however, a malfunction could mean falling from hundreds or thousands of feet. This fear isn't unfounded. People are worried about accidents, especially in crowded urban areas where flying cars would operate. Manufacturers need to go the extra mile to prove their vehicles are safe. They need to demonstrate backup systems, advanced collision avoidance technologies, and emergency protocols that can calm these nerves. Until then, the idea of cars falling from the sky will keep many people skeptical. Flying cars are marvels of engineering, combining the principles of aviation with traditional driving. Most designs rely on rotors, similar to what you'd see on drones or helicopters. These rotors allow the vehicles to take off, hover, and land vertically, making them perfect for urban environments where runways aren't an option. But this level of innovation requires a tremendous amount of power. Strong batteries or hybrid systems are essential to provide the energy needed for long flights. And here's where another concern arises. Are today's batteries strong enough? Electric cars on the ground are just starting to overcome issues like range anxiety and charging infrastructure. Flying cars demand even more power, making it hard to believe they'll be ready for widespread use anytime soon. Flying cars won't just be difficult to build, they'll be difficult to operate too. Driving a regular car is second nature for most people, but piloting a flying car is an entirely different ballgame. It requires understanding both driving mechanics and aviation principles. This means stricter training programs and more licensing requirements. Busy people might find it inconvenient to dedicate the time needed to learn these skills. Add to this the potential cost of maintaining such advanced vehicles, and it's easy to see why some might hesitate to embrace flying cars. With flying cars entering the picture, we'll need a whole new set of traffic laws, this time for the skies. Aviation authorities will have to create and enforce rules to prevent chaos in the air. For example, how will airspace be divided? How will air traffic be controlled when thousands of flying cars are buzzing around? Overpopulation of the air is a real concern. Imagine rush hour, but in the skies. Without proper planning, this could lead to mid-air collisions, delays, and overcrowded airspace. To make flying cars a reality, governments and private companies will need to work together to develop a solid framework for managing air traffic. Another issue is the competition between companies rushing to develop flying cars. While competition can drive innovation, it can also lead to shortcuts. In the race to release the next big thing, some companies might skip proper testing or safety protocols just to get ahead. This is why setting safety standards is so important. Every flying car, regardless of who makes it, should meet strict regulations to ensure they're safe, reliable, and environmentally friendly.
Most flying cars use electric motors. eVTOLs are also quieter than helicopters and thus more suited for urban areas.
Without these safeguards, the risks could outweigh the benefits. Flying cars are often marketed as eco-friendly, especially those powered by electricity, but even electric vehicles have environmental costs. Producing their batteries requires mining rare minerals, which can harm ecosystems and communities. Once these batteries reach the end of their lifespan, disposal becomes another problem, creating hazardous waste. Flying cars also require more energy than ground vehicles, increasing demand for electricity. If this electricity comes from non-renewable sources, the environmental benefits might not be as significant as they seem. Balancing innovation with sustainability is one of the biggest challenges the industry faces. Despite all these challenges, flying cars are still inching closer to reality. Governments around the world are actively working to address the concerns we've discussed, from safety and regulation to environmental impact. Their involvement is crucial to ensure flying cars don't just transform transportation, but do so in a way that's safe, sustainable, and accessible. Flying cars are undoubtedly exciting, but their journey from dream to reality will take time, collaboration, and careful planning. For now, the skies may remain the domain of planes and drones, but the future is full of possibilities. Whether these vehicles will truly revolutionize transportation or remain a niche luxury, only time will tell. Whether checking traffic updates or playing your favorite playlist, the system is intuitive and easy to use, and the tech doesn't stop there. Bluetooth connectivity is standard in this car, allowing you to connect your phone for hands-free calls or streaming music. So think of driving through the streets of Dubai, effortlessly connecting to your devices, all while staying focused on the road. It's the kind of feature you'd expect in cars that cost much more. But here, it's included at a price that's hard to believe. Now let's talk about safety. Dubai didn't just focus on making this car look good. They also made sure it was packed with advanced safety features to keep you and your passengers safe. Safety is often concerned with budget cars, but that's not the case here. This car comes equipped with features that make driving safer and more accessible. It has advanced braking systems that ensure quick and efficient stops, especially in busy traffic or emergencies. A rear-view camera also helps with parking and reversing, giving you a clear view of what's behind you. It's a simple yet crucial feature that adds extra safety, especially in tight parking spots or crowded areas. But that's not all. Airbags also come standard, offering protection in the event of a collision. While some budget cars cut corners on safety, Dubai's new model goes above and beyond to ensure you feel secure behind the wheel. It's clear that safety wasn't an afterthought. It's a crucial part of the design. For a compact car, the interior is surprisingly spacious. Do you think there's more to Brandon Lee's death than just an accident? Or was it truly a tragic mistake? Let us know in the comments section. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to like, share it, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.